Good afternoon, class. Just wanted to make a brief video on how to turn a regular number Babylonian. So the number that we're going to turn Babylonian is this one, 500,204. Okay. Now, remember, there are three symbols in Babylonian. We have the symbol for 10. We have the symbol for 1. And we have the symbol for 0. And those are the three symbols. Now, suppose we want, and also another thing to remember is that there are different place values levels in Babylonian. So, the first place value that's going to be relevant to this problem is the 216 thousandths place. So we have the 216 thousandths place. Then we have the 3600ths place. We have the 60s place. And we have the ones place. Now, how did I get these crazy numbers as the other place values? They use a base 60 system, which means there's 59 that could possibly fit into the ones place, but you don't ever put 60 into the ones place. Once you get to 60, you put 1 in the 60s place and 0 in the ones place. And then you can get up to 59 60s, but you can never have 60 60s. So 60 times 60 is 3600. So instead of having 60 60s, we just get one 3600. Make sense? We'll never have 60 3600s. We can have 59 3600s. Instead, when we have 60 3600s, instead we move it over into the 216 thousandths place. And then there's also an even higher place value. I think it's like the 12,960,000ths place. But we're not going to use that one at all. Okay, so let's do 500,204. Now the first thing is to ask ourselves, how many 216 thousandths fits into 500,204? And the answer is 2, right? Because 2 times 216,000 is 432,000, which is less than this. However, if you try to put 3, that would be bigger than 500,204. So we need to put 2 in the 216 thousandths place. So I'm going to write that with 2 V's. These both mean 1, so that's 2. Make sense? So we put 2 in the 216 thousandths place. Now we're going to move on to the 3600ths place. So we have to ask ourselves, how much is left over after we did this? Well, 2 times 216,000 is 432,000. So, if we do 500,204 minus 432,000, you get, let's see, 68,204. So then we ask ourselves, how many 3600ths fit into 68,204? And of course, that's a division problem. You're asking yourself, how many groups of 3600 can I make with 68,204? So you need to divide. You go 68,204 divided by 3,600. And what you're going to get is that there are actually there's 18 3600s. 18 3600s in this number. Okay? So what we do is we put an 18. And you can check me if you want. Whoops. So an 18 is 110 and 8 ones. So I put 10 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's what goes in the 3600s place. Now I left a giant gap here, but there doesn't need to be a gap. You could just have it right here. That would have been fine. So that's what goes in the 3600s place. And so now we need to know how much is left over now. Well, 18 times 36 is 64,800. So what's left over is 3,404. So we still have 300,404. So we ask ourselves, how many 60s is 3,404? And the answer is 56. That is 56 60s. So we need to put 56 right here in the 60s place. So I put 5 10s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10s, and 6 1s. Okay, so we're already running into the ones place, but this is still, this is still supposed to be in the 60s place. All of this is the 60s place and the 3600s. This is kind of where they switch. You can tell because here's a bunch of ones, and then boom, we jump back to 10s. So that tells me I'm in a new place value. So now 56 60s, that was 3,600. Okay, if you do 56 times 60, you'll see that it's 3,600. And so, if you subtract, you still have, whoops, sorry about that. What I meant to say was 3,360. Sorry, I saw the 360 and I said 3,600 in my head. So 3,360. And so when you subtract here, you get 44. So we still have 44 ones left over. So we need to put a 44 in the ones place. And so you get 1, 2, 3, 4 10s and 4 ones in the ones place. And so this giant number is 500,204 because you have 2 in the 216,000s place and so on. One other thing is, so when will we use zeros? So let's say I had asked you to convert 216,000 into Babylonian. Well, you would put a 1 in the 216,000s place, but then you would put 0 in the 3600s place, and you'd put 0 in the 60s place, and you'd put 0 in the ones place, right? So you can still have zeros in places, just like we have this number 1,004. Right, this number 1,004, that's 4 in the ones place, 0s in the 10s, 0 in the hundreds, and then 1 in the thousands place. They can also have 0 in the 60s place, or they could have 0 in the 3600s place. All right, hopefully that helps. Good luck on the homework. Let me know if you have any more questions.